So Loretta Lynch has now announced as Attorney General at the Department of Justice that she also considers it a closed book in terms of charges against Secretary Hillary Clinton. So that's the new information this evening. And now one Republican senator is demanding some answers from the FBI. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson writes a letter to FBI Director James Comey insisting that the Bureau release the details of their investigation into Secretary Clinton's emails. Senator Johnson goes on the record tonight from Washington, D.C. Good evening, sir. Good to have you with us this evening.
Well, Martha, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much. So your committee, Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs, basically considers this to not be a closed case. Why?
Well, the letter I wrote to Director Comey first asked a pretty basic question. I think it's a very legitimate question to ask. How much did Secretary Clinton's extremely careless behavior cost the American public? It's not just the FBI. There are other agencies, the State Department, probably intel assets of this country spent an awful lot of money investigating her extremely careless behavior. So I think that's a very legitimate oversight function. But we're also wondering, what is the difference between extremely careless behavior and gross negligence? Yeah, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a prosecutor myself, but I've talked to attorneys and prosecutors that were watching his press conference. And as he was building the case, they started going, he's going to recommend indictment. Yeah. He's going to recommend indictment. And then all of a sudden came the conclusion he didn't recommend indictment. So is there really a double standard here in terms of prosecution for those people that are connected, the elite, versus the rest of us? It's a very legitimate question to answer.
It's a very legitimate question to ask, and it did feel, as he went through his statement, that he was laying out a case to bring charges against Hillary Clinton. The leap from that moment to the moment where he said the word although, which sort of signaled that the corner was being turned and that actually he was going to not bring any charges. I think the bridge between those two things is the missing piece that everybody's going to be looking for tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. So, in other words, how did you make all these findings and lay out all these facts of extreme carelessness, as you point out, and then come to the conclusion that there wasn't enough to support it? One of the things that he said was that there wasn't enough volume, basically. I mean, not enough in terms of the egregious behavior on her part. Does that hold water with you?
I don't think so. What did General Petraeus get convicted of? It was one document, correct? There were 110
I think he
emails.
Would argue that in that case there was intent to transfer that information intentionally to someone who should not have it. In this case, he's saying that he looked at it all and believes that there wasn't any intent, which is very interesting because those were President Obama's words as well. I mean, he told the press in April that he didn't see that she had any intent to undermine national security, and it feels like that statement stuck with the FBI director as well. Your thoughts?
The statute does not require intent. Yeah. It doesn't require it, so that's not necessary. The other thing I'm really interested in is what other State Department officials were on those emails. Because it was obvious that those emails were outside the classified system. They also, I think, are culpable. And let's face it, at some point in time, maybe come before the Senate for confirmation. We need to know exactly what they knew and when they knew it as well.
Senator Ron Johnson, thank you, sir.